Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
We'll see. Hello, Jot'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Ever since Lum made the mistake of bandaging the wrong leg a few days ago, he's been afraid that Squire Skimp has discovered the secret of his fake broken leg. The old fellow is so worried over the results of what might happen if Squire divulges the secret that he's on the verge of a nervous collapse. As we look in on the little community now, we find Lum and Abner down at their store. Listen.
Wait a minute. Is that him?
Who?
Squire Skimp.
Oh, no, that's Ezra Seastrong. Oh, swan to goodness, Lum, you're as nervous and jumpy as a rabbit's nose.
I know it.
Act like you're scared to death of Squire.
He's going to accuse me of some trouble, I can tell you that right now. He knows this leg of mine ain't sure enough broke, and he's just laying back waiting for a chance to get me.
Get you?
Well, do something. He can send me to the penitentiary, and he knows it.
Well, what would he want to send you to the penitentiary for?
Why, on account of me sending in a claim to the insurance company for a broke leg when it ain't broke.
Well, he was the one that insisted on sending the claim in.
Yeah, but it was my name that was signed to it.
Well, I still believe you're just getting yourself all worked up for nothing. I don't believe he knows your leg ain't broke.
Well, he's the only one that has noticed that I had my left leg rocked up for a while, and now it's my right leg.
Well, if he knows, why don't he do something about it then?
That's the part that's making me so nervous. Why don't he come right out and do something? Get it over with.
Well, I believe if he'd have noticed it, he'd have did something about it long ago, Lum.
Well, he's got something up his sleeve.
Well, Huh?
He's working on some scheme. You can bet your life on that.
What's he got up his sleeve?
I don't know. That's what I want to find out.
How do you know he has?
Oh, I knowed the minute he seen I had the wrong leg rocked up, he was on to us.
Do you think it's a pistol?
Think what's a pistol?
Well, what he's got up his sleeve?
Of course not. What would he be doing with a pistol up his sleeve?
Well, I know it's something that you're scared to death of. Reckon it's a knife?
Abner, I don't mean he sure enough got something up his coat sleeve.
Oh, shirt sleeve, huh?
No. When I said...
Well, that's the only two sleeves he's got, Lum.
When I said he's got something up his sleeve, I mean he's got some scheme figured out that's going to cause me some trouble.
Well, that's a funny way of saying it.
What's so funny about it?
Well, just saying got something up his sleeve when he's going to cause you trouble.
Well, lots of people use that expression. When they're going to play some kind of a trick on you, they've got something up their sleeve.
Oh, yeah, sure. I know what you mean now. I saw them musicians pull stuff out of their sleeves. I bound you, it's a rabbit.
Rabbit?
Yeah, I've seen a fella take one out of a hat once, and somebody said he had it up his sleeve all the time.
I mean, Squire's got an idea up his sleeve.
You mean he thought up something and put it up his sleeve?
Abner, for goodness sakes, I've got troubles enough without taking time to try to explain something to you. Granny, if it ain't 6 of one thing, it's a whole dozen of something else. I can have more troubles than all them morning radio serials put together.
Well, I still think it's just your imagination. Squire ain't said a word about it.
I know it. That's what's got me worried. If he'd come right out and say something about it, I wouldn't mind it so bad. Why don't he tell me he's going to have me sent to the penitentiary and have it over with? If he tells that insurance company that my leg ain't broke, I'm a goner, that's all they are to it.
Well, what are you going to do if they send you a check for $100 damage to your leg?
I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. That just shows how much trouble a body can get into by telling one little thing that ain't the truth.
Yeah. Here you been on crutches for 10 days or more when there ain't a thing in the world wrong with you. Just 'cause you never wanted to take Sister Simpson over to the sociable.
I know it. I'll never use that for an excuse again. Or if I do, I'll sure enough break my leg. I wish now it was broke, just to get even with Squire Skimp.
Get even with him?
Yeah, if he'd accuse me of it out in public, I could pull them bandages off and make laughing stocks out of him.
Yeah, if it was sure enough broke, why, you wouldn't have no trouble at all, Lum.
Well, wait a minute. I ain't going to break it on a purpose, if that's what you're trying to suggest.
I ain't suggesting nothing. It ain't none of my business.
Well, I've got to study up something to tell Squire.
Well, I wish you would. Quit hiding every time he comes in here like you done this morning. Make me tell stories, make up stuff about you not being here.
Yeah, I know it. I don't like it either, Abner, but I don't want to make him mad, though. He could ruin me sure enough if he went to telling it around town here. Miss Frederick never would believe me again. Everybody's been so nice to me, I just couldn't stand to face them.
No.
Yeah, it just looks like I'm just going to have to keep my leg bandaged up and use these crutches till everybody knows my leg's had time to heal.
Well, what about your correspondence course? If you take that course in building superintendent, or whatever you call it, why, You'll have to leave Pine Ridge, Lum. There ain't no buildings here big enough for you.
I decided not to take that course, though. Decided to just forget about it.
I thought it was free.
Well, the course to learn how to be a building superintendent is free. But you have to take 3 other courses that cost you $330 before you get your free one.
Yeah.
And another thing, I've decided I don't want to leave Pine Ridge no way.
You don't?
No, I ain't got nothing against living in a city, but I know everybody here, and I know I've got a better chance of being a success here than anywhere else.
Well, I'm proud to hear you say that, Lum. This town's going to grow. I've always said it would. Dick Huddleston, some of the fellas are talking the other day, if we could just get a factory or 2 started here, why, wouldn't be long till more of them would come in here, and the first thing you know, we'd have a big city.
Well, what's wrong with Pine Ridge the way it is?
Huh?
These fellas are always trying to figure out some way to make a big city out of Pine Ridge. If they want to live in a big city, why don't they move to a city?
Well, there'd be more people here, Lum, and business would be better.
Yeah, and there'd be more stores put in, too.
Yeah.
Business is good here now, and most everybody's making a good living.
Why, sure.
We don't know how it'd be if the town was any bigger.
Yeah, but they's complaining about some of these old buildings around town here.
Well, now, there's another thing. I can't see nothing wrong with these old buildings. I like to see them painted and kept up good, but these old buildings is a part of the town. Wouldn't be like Pine Ridge with new modern-looking buildings here.
No.
They're sort of like old friends. And I know I wouldn't want to run my old friends out of town and bring in some new ones.
Oh, no, of course not.
Now, instead of trying to make this a big town, I'd rather leave it just like it is and improve what we've got. Everybody keep their places up in good shape, and the yards looking nice, and weeds cut down, and flowers planted all over town.
Yeah, well, I never had thought about it just that way.
No, there's a funny thing about folks, Abner. Of course, I wouldn't stand in the way of progress. I'm in favor of anything for the betterment of the town, but I don't think it has to be any bigger to be a better town.
Well, now that you've made mention of it, I don't know but what I feel the same way, Lum. Whilst I've been agreeing with the rest of these fellers, I reckon if I'd been wanting to live in the kind of a town that they're wanting to make Pine Ridge, why, I'd have left here years ago and went and found it. There's plenty of them.
Well, Dick Huddleston and that bunch is honest and sincere in what they're trying to do. They're good citizens, all right.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll just bet you there's lots and lots of folks all over this country that spent a whole lifetime trying to build their hometown into a bigger place, and then when they got all done, they found out they'd destroyed the very thing they liked about it.
Oh,
Wait a minute. There comes Squire Skimp again. I'll step back here in the feed room and tell him.
I ain't going to tell him nothing now. He's been coming over here all day to see you. Why don't you talk with him and get it over with? See what he wants.
I know what he wants. He's going to try to cross-examine me and trick me into admitting that my leg ain't broke.
Ah.
All right, Granny, I'll stay here and talk to him.
That's a time.
I've worried myself about this long enough. If he gets to press me too hard, I'm going to admit to it and just let him do with me whatever he wants to.
Well, now, you better tell him not to tell nobody else, Lum.
Maybe I can pay him to keep his mouth shut.
Pay him?
Well, anything to get this over with. I feel like a criminal waiting for his sentence.
Find out. Come in, Squire.
Yeah, howdy, Squire. Come on back.
Well, Lum, I finally found you in. I've been looking for you all day.
Yeah, Abner was telling me you's in. What was you wanting, Squire?
Well, I wonder if I could see you alone for a few minutes, Lum.
Oh, why, yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah, here, I'll go out on the porch if you fellas want to talk private.
If you don't mind, Abner, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, no, I don't mind. I might step on over to the barber shop for a while, Lum, see if there's any arguments going on.
Yeah, all right, Abner. Sit down, Squire.
Yes, thank you, Lum. Well, I guess you know what I want to see you about.
Yeah, and ain't no use beating around the brush no longer, Squire. I'm going to come right out and admit to it. It ain't broke.
What's that, Lum?
I say I'm admitting my leg ain't broke. I know you catched on the other day when you was in here and me and Abner made a mistake and got the bandage on the wrong leg, so...
Lum, do you mean that your leg isn't broken at all? Never was broken?
Why, didn't you know it?
Why, of course I didn't know it. I never would have sent that claim into the insurance company. Why, this is the most outrageous thing I ever heard of in my life, Lum. Perpetrating such a hoax on the good people of this town.
Well, I never...
That's a penitentiary offense. Attempting to defraud an insurance company. And I intend to see that you get your just desserts.
Well, now, wait a minute,
I
Squire.
came over here to see you about another matter entirely. But I don't care to discuss it or anything else with a man of your character. A man who would stoop so low as to abuse the confidence placed in him by his friends. Good day.